Coming to you once again. I got a few things to go over with you. I want to look at how to maintain your hoof knives. Now I got a few different kinds here that I use, and some of them may be new to you, might not be anything you're used to seeing, but I find them to be very beneficial in my work. I use them constantly, and then I use hoof knives that are pretty much normal. So let's kind of get right into it. Now, I happen to like a traditional knife like this. This is standard hoof knife, okay? But I do something a little different. All right, this side, standard hoof knife, right hand use, but I do something a little different. I was taught by a farrier a long time ago to take the hook off of it. It helps me get into the sole area easier, down by the frog easier. It does for me a much better job without having the hook in the way. All I do is put it in a vise, pop it off, grind it off, and away you go. And you just still use it just like regular, normal, right hand hoof knife. All right. Another knife that I use is called a loop knife. There's a few of them on the market. This happens to be one that I prefer. And what it allows me to do again is get into some of the areas of the sole, the frogs, back by the hooks, and allows me both right-handed and left-handed use. I don't have to worry about having necessarily two knives, two standard knives, where I have a right and a left. I've got a right and a left right here. So I use each one of them a little bit differently, but they still get me through the job pretty well. So going through a lot of the feet that we go through, lots of rocks, lots of sand. Like I've said before, sharp objects, rocks and sand, don't play well together. So what we want to do is just maintenance these today. We want to sharpen them up. All right. Now, first thing I'm going to go through is my standard hoof knife, and if we'll come down to our work surface, give us just a moment here. I'm also going to go ahead and put on my gloves. I try not to get cut if at all possible. Don't mind being cut, but why bother if you don't have to? All right, now sharpening implements. There's a few different things that I use. I happen to like these diamond honing sticks. This one is made by DMT. It's called Crystal Saber. It's flat on one side and it's rounded on the other. All right. Now, this particular item here is called a Diamond V. It's the same thing. It's the same diamond honing rod, only it's in a lucite base, and it's in a V formation. These work great for when I'm out in the field. A few hits with this and we get pretty sharp. Now, this is really designed for a standard knife, but I use these to help sharpen my own hoof knives. All right, motion looks something about like this. I lock my wrist. I have my knife solid in my hand, so I lock my wrist so it doesn't move around, and I just go in a nice circular motion. Now, this works great if all I need to do is hone a new sharp edge on the knife. However, sometimes we get very busy. We don't take care of our tools like we're supposed to, when we're supposed to. So let's come back up here a little. This, I believe, is a piece of tungsten steel that's in this little sharpener. You can find these in, actually you can find them in your Farrier stores, your Farrier supply stores. I find them in Lowe's. They're probably in Home Depot. And what it's designed to do is shave some of the steel off your knife. So you just take the edge. Let's see if we can follow right here. Kelly, let's see if we can get up close enough as I do this.
Okay.
All right, now I'm going to go a little slow here so you can kind of see what's happening. And it just shaves off a bit of the steel. Purpose for this is to hollow out some of your blade surface again. I don't know if you can see the shavings coming off. But it helps you to shave out some of the hollow in the blade so that you can put a new razor sharp edge back on it and keep your knife sharpened with your other tools easier and quicker. So I'll go a little more real time here. I don't know if you can see what's happening to the steel here, but I'm taking off not the edge, I'm taking off more of this area right through here at the end of the tool. All right? Because I want to make sure I give myself a way of putting a nice, sharp, razor sharp edge back on my knife. After all, what good does it do to have a knife if you're going to have it dull? Dull knives don't do anything but get you hurt. They'll frustrate you. You won't get any work done. Causes you to work harder, and that's when the accidents happen. Now, does this work perfect all the time? It gets the job done. There is a faster way. There is a faster way of doing this, providing you have an electric outlet and you have your tool handy. You can do this with a Dremel tool. You just need stones that are designed for sharpening metal objects, and you can, there's a couple different ones that I tend to use. Alright, so nothing fancy, just standard Dremel stuff. And what I'm going to do here is take off my hat, since it's a noisy motorized tool. I'm going to put my earphones on. Now I can't hear myself talk. Alright, here we go. So, how do we go about this part? Well, I'm going to do the same thing with the tool, with the Dremel, that I was with the tungsten steel sharpener. The idea is to hollow out the back part of this blade here so that I can put a new sharp edge on the edge. Now, I don't know if you can see, this area, try to get it, can you see okay? All right. From here, all the way over to just about here, from one end to the other, that's the area I'm working. Want to flatten it out, shave it down, so that as I go to put an edge back on the blade itself, it will have a razor sharp edge and you'll be able to keep it longer because you're taking some of the fatness out of the blade. Now this is after you've already started using this blade a lot. Because if you'll notice, there is still a bit of a difference between the old one and the new one. Notice this one's wider. These two knives were exactly the same. Alright, so this new knife already has all this beveled out. I'm just having to take and move back into the body of this blade a little further. Okay. Now I can either finish putting the edge on here with my Dremel, or I can go to my diamond V's. And how do you check? Well, we're not there yet. It's not very sharp at this point. And I also have a little bit of a burr on the back side. Now, as with their nippers, these knife blades are not supposed to be V-shaped. They're not supposed to be like a standard cutting knife. They are more like a chisel. They are flat on the back side and the bevel is on the front side. Alright, so we do not put a bevel here and a bevel here. Your knife will not work properly on the hoof. And you'll get frustrated, throw it away, get mad, hurt yourself, and call everybody else all kinds of names. So, I will continue on with my Dremel, but I'm going to go to a finer stone. Here we go for just a moment. Alright, the object with that one was to shorten up where I'm actually putting my bevel. Now I'm changing that to a slight degree right towards the edge of the blade. Now I'm actually trying to put an edge on it. And it's starting to get better. Okay, but I've still got to take care of the back side. So if this is supposed to be beveled, and you're sharpening all here, you start getting a burr on the back side. How do you take care of that? Well, this one actually does quite well. I place my knife flat against my diamond stick, press firmly, don't rock up here and put a bevel on it, leave it flat. So you kind of polish up the backside. And how's our blade doing? Much better. Much better. Not as razor sharp as I want yet. I'm going to lightly touch this up. I don't have a whole lot of pressure on it. You should be able to hear that in the sound as well. Go back. Getting there. Not too bad at this point. Chaps come in handy, they're like a strop. You know, the barbers used to have a strop that they would hone their razors with. Our chaps aren't too much different than that. Ah, now we're talking. Now I have a nice sharp edge that will take me through my work and do a good job for me. Won't take nearly as much effort. Won't take nearly as much effort. Now, just very quickly, I want to go over the second type of knife that I use. Sharpening isn't much different, but I just want to kind of go through this for you, just so that you can see. And put my glove back on. With this type, I'll either use my Diamond V in much the same manner as I do my standard knife. Sharpen one side, sharpen the other side. Wrist is still locked. I've got my knife still in one position, and I simply work against the tool. How do you take care of the back side? Same way as you did the other one. Flat. The hook itself, you can either use like so, or you can go back to a Dremel and work into this area very gently like this. And you just put a nice sharp edge right on the hook. One other loop knife that I have is a much smaller one. Use this one for abscesses, use it for small feet, use it for more fine-tuned work, detail work. This one's a little more difficult to sharpen. It pretty much does take a Dremel to be able to get in here where you can do a little more precise work. All right. Most of these tools, your Dremels, you can get from any hardware store, Walmart, Kmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, whoever. Some of these others, you're able to either order them directly, or you may find them repackaged at your local Farrier stores. There are a number of other types of honing sticks that you'll find. There are ceramic ones, which I don't have an example of in front of me, but the ceramics work okay. But for my taste, I find that these diamond sticks work best. So hope this has helped you out. If you have any questions, please contact us. Contact us through the website. www.keithseeley.com. Be more than happy to help you out, and appreciate you tuning in. Hope this has helped. Thank you very much. Have a great day.